but I can help you find a place." The slight old man huffed in anger and balled his hands into fists. "That again. These are decent enough clothes." His words came out in a whistle through his jutting front teeth. He patted the pockets of his pants, releasing another wave of the mossy smell. "I'm not homeless, pea-brain." Maggie cocked her head to the side, still holding up her gun. "Okay. Name-calling. Very nice. Well, which one of us is about to get arrested, asshole?" "Asshole is just a nickname. My friends call me Bernie." He spat the words out, his face flushed. "You can keep calling me asshole." "Bernie, you're an odd combo for a criminal. You broke in here like you've done this before, but you've been banging around like you left your glasses somewhere." He cut her off, waving his arms. "I have never needed glasses. Slipped on that grease stain." He looked back over his shoulder and back at her. "Place needs a good straightening up, if you ask me." "No one is asking. And from the looks of things, you caused most of the mess." Maggie lowered her gun, letting out a deep breath. "Look, Bernie, I'm gonna need an explanation." She waved her hand at the mess in the garage. "Your training, I suppose," he muttered, taking a small step to his right. Maggie furrowed her brow, tucking a long strand of brown hair behind an ear. "Do we know each other?" Her shoulders dropped down a little. "Oh, geez. Are you one of my mother's friends? Was she doing another white lady sweat lodge? Are you high on something?" She shook her head. "That collection of people she has in her house, no offense." "None taken. I'm not one of them," he grumbled. He took another small step to the right, sliding an old green metal toolbox with his foot. Half of the tools were already spilled out onto the floor. Maggie looked at the toolbox and up at Bernie. That was the clang she had heard earlier. "What the hell are you doing with Poppy's toolbox? You break in here to steal some old tools?" An ache centered in her chest. The tools were the only thing her grandfather had left her in his will last year. She had put the box on a shelf and left them there. It was still too painful to look through them. But it didn't mean someone could take them. "Answer the question. What do you want with the tools?" Maggie lifted her gun back up, the hair on her arm starting to stand up, and a familiar tingle spreading along the back of her neck. She got it every time something was about to go down. The muscles across her back tensed. Bernie peered at her, squinting his eyes like he was sizing her up. He shrugged and turned, picking the metal box up and dumping out the contents. "Hey, that's all I have left from my grandfather." Maggie felt a flush of anger and ran across the room, dropping to one knee. She was still holding up her gun, even as she pushed the tools out of the small man's reach. But he was already ignoring everything except the small wooden puzzle box that was resting lightly in the palm of his hand. A satisfied grin broke out across his face. "Not a chance," Maggie shouted. He had picked Maggie's favorite from the toolbox, a useless wooden box her grandfather let her play with as a child, but was never able to open. It was decorated on every side with a different element of wind, fire, water, or earth. On the top was an engraving of a compass rose. Bernie looked all around and waved his arm as he made an attempt at an end run around the detective, barreling at her. She put out her foot to trip him up, combining it with an elbow to his midsection. He blew out sharply, losing his grip on the box as it dropped toward the floor. "No, not this time," he called out. They both reached up for the box at the same time, fumbling it through their fingers as it continued to tumble off course, headed for a puddle of water where rainwater had seeped inside the garage. The box landed on its side, making a small splash as Bernie gasped.